So we got to choose the weakest power and then explain how we'd use it to defeat the strongest power. You know, the gag is, none of these powers are inherently weak, bro. All of these powers can be pretty strong if you use them the right way. But at the end of the day, green control is just not going to be as strong as any of the other things here on this list. And for that reason, I got to use it. Which means I'm going straight Avatar of the Green. Like, if I got to have green control to beat all these other powers, time stop, invulnerability, weather control, tech control, immortality, super speed, matter manipulation, high intellect, bro. If you really want to push green control, plant manipulation to its absolute dead-ass peak, bro, you got to go straight Avatar of the Green Swamp Thing. Bro can control all of plant life in the entirety of the multiverse. Literally, as the Avatar of the Green, Swamp Thing is literally connected the actual hive mind of all plant life in the universe, the green. He's literally the actual central link of all of that. Like, don't underestimate plant manipulation, bro. That shit could get pretty hectic if you know how to use it properly and you know how to actually push that shit to its absolute limits. Now, the strongest power here is actually pretty debatable. What I think might be the strongest power, you might not agree, but let's just pick what I think is the strongest power here. Some of you may argue it's super speed, some may argue it's matter manipulation, some might even say it's immortality. Super speed is really not that strong if you don't have speed force. They're not the same thing. We all know matter manipulation can really be peak power, bro, especially if you don't have limits on it at all. Immortality is pretty crazy because you can't really be killed. At the end of the day, in a straight up fight, bro, invulnerability is the actual power that'll beat all of these at the end of the day. If you're truly invulnerable, truly have invulnerability, bro, there's nothing that any of these other powers can actually really do to you to actually take you out, except for me. See, how I'd use my green control as the Avatar of the Green Swamp Reek, I would actually be able to overcome Hulk's invulnerability or anyone's invulnerability with one simple trick. Now, after pushing myself to become the Avatar of the Green and having complete, absolute multiverse control of all plant life, how I'd use that is to actually infiltrate the body of the invulnerable character. Because invulnerability means that you just cannot be broken. That does not mean you can't be entered into. If you get where I'm going with this, think maybe Ant-Man jumping into Thanos' ass, bro. I would conjure up all the roots and vines and trees and everything I could possibly reach with my green connected link. I would flood that invulnerable body through all orifices. All open areas would be flooded with roots, vines, shoots, trees, branches, everything I can get my hands on. Now, at that point, I would actually extend all the roots and vines and branches and all that shit through the person's body, funneling them through the person's body and actually push them all the way out into a T-pose. Still invulnerable, still unbroken, but they now have things funneling through their body, therefore they cannot actually do anything. Now, at this point, I have two options. I can either try to hold them off in that position for as long as I can, probably infinitely if I can, or I can add on more and more layers of plant life and actually encase them and actually trap them into a single ball of manipulated plant life indefinitely. And eventually, with enough plant life actually covering their body, they'll either die from starvation or suffocation, effectively taking them out. But that's easier said than done, but like I said, it can be done.